Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jacquelyn Lopez. Today I have a fun DIY video for you. Now I'm going to be doing 3 different DIYs using lavender from Walmart, and this lavender is so high quality and so beautiful, and it was only 97 cents. Now before we get started, I do want to remind you to please subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. Now let's get started with our first DIY. For our first one, we will be using 4 of the lavender bundles, a metal planter from Dollar Tree, floral foam, and the hot glue is optional. That's if you want to glue the foam to the bottom of the planter. Now, first thing we're going to do is separate each of the stems from the lavender bundles. Now we are going to take our planter and we are going to put our floral foam inside of it with the plastic still attached to it. So just make sure that you put it into where it doesn't move around and that the sticker is on the bottom. I'm leaving the plastic just so that it's a little bit cleaner of a project because this foam sometimes tends to shed. Now we are going to be inserting our individual stems into the foam, and we are going to start with the center first. That's what's going to determine how full and how tall we are going to have our end product to be. Now I am leaving about 1 to 1.5 inch space between bundles, but again, this is 100% up to you is how far apart you want to keep them. Now I am barely inserting these stems. I am not putting them all the way in. I am using also all the ones that are longer, again, just so that it determines the height of our piece. Once we insert a full middle row, we are going to be inserting the front row, and these are more spaced apart, so I'm using about 3 or 4, and then I am going to put some on the sides, both in front and back. I'm going to take a look at it, see what it looks like, and add any filler pieces. And this is a part where I am fully inserting the stems in my middle row so that I can see how tall I want it, but I do suggest that you do this before you add the front and the back row. And here is our final product. I absolutely love how this turned out. Now on to our second DIY. We are going to be using 1 of the lavender bundles, a small foam wreath form, some floral wire, hot glue, and of course some scissors. Now what we're going to do first is remove all of the individual lavender pieces, and we are going to separate them so that they are not in these little bundles of 2 but just 1. And then we are going to wrap our foam wreath form with floral tape, and this is 100% optional. Again, I just like all of my DIYs to look as clean as possible, so I am taking the extra step of doing this. Now, if you don't find the specific wreath forms, I did buy mine at the 99-cent only store. It was a pack of 6, but again, if you don't find them, you can always use the smaller grapevine wreaths that are available at most craft stores. Once we have that complete, it is time to hot glue our little lavender pieces onto the wreath form. And I do want to show you that I'm going to be adding the small pieces in 2 different levels, an outer ring and an inner ring. And we are going to do them kind of in a fanning out direction to achieve the look that we are going for. Now, I am putting them kind of close together, but you can always go back and fill in once you have your first layer. Now your first outer ring layer is what's going to use up most of your lavender pieces. That is perfectly okay. So here is our completed piece. As you can tell, they are all on the outside. Now it's time for our inner ring, which again will take up less lavender pieces because we pretty much just want it to hide where we glued on the first layer. So as you can see, this one goes directly inside of it, and now we're just going to continue doing that. Again, super easy, super quick to do. I kind of added in the same direction that the first ones were glued under, and you'll see kind of how I do that right there. And here is the completed second inner ring. And as you can see, it looks really full and it covers all of the glued on pieces. Now, in order to hang it, if you want to hang it, all you have to do is cut a ribbon of your choice and just hot glue it to the back. And for our final DIY, we are going to use some of our leftover lavender, some scissors, and some jute twine. Now, again, this is what's left from my lavender wreath, and I'm going to do the same. I'm going to separate it so that I have these tiny individual pieces, and all I'm going to do is bundle them back together so that I can have a tiny lavender bundle. And you can choose to do this with 3, 4, 2, and all you're going to do is take some of your jute rope and you are going to tie a knot. And this is, again, very simple, basic knot. And then adjust it kind of to your liking if you want them to be closer together, further apart, higher, lower. And then you're just going to wrap your jute rope around the bottom stems, just so that it looks, again, cleaner and not so spread out, and that way they also don't come out. And then at the very end, once you're done wrapping it, just again tie a very simple knot. Now push it all the way up so that it's really close together. Again, that'll just make for a cleaner look. You can choose to make a little bow, or you can do what I did, which was just to leave the simple knot and trim off the excess. You can see one way I used them in my previous farmhouse signs video. I'll leave that linked for you down below. And here are all of my finished projects. I absolutely love all of them. And can you believe it? I only used 5 of my lavender bundles and I still have some leftover pieces. So I'm going to be making more of these tiny bundles to continue sprinkling all over my house. As always, thank you so much for watching, and a reminder to please subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. Leave me a comment down below which of these projects is your favorite and which one do you think you'll be recreating. Thank you as always. Have a very good rest of your day. Bye-bye.